very first Rotary meeting of the Rotary fiscal year 2021-22. As it is tradition with our club, we start every meeting with the Star Spangled Banner, and I ask Audrey Levine to please indulge us with her musical talents. Audrey?
Hello.
Thank you very much, Audrey. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So just a few notes. I hope everybody can stay muted for the time being. The agenda will be as follows. We will introduce our district governor, esteemed Judge George McKinnis, who will make a few remarks of his self about the district and the vision for our district Rotary 7230. Then he will give us the honor of introducing or inducting, I should say, President Gerard and the Board of Directors, after which President Gerard will make presidential remarks and each board member will make a brief introduction, and that shall basically conclude our meeting for today. Once again, I welcome everybody. In particularly, I see once again past Rotary International President Wilfred Wilkinson. Tremendous honor to have him, and of course all our ranking friends and members of this club. District Governor George, may I ask you to take the floor for your remarks. Thank you. You're on mute right now.
I think we'll do the oaths first, if that's okay with the club, and then I'll make a few brief remarks, and then I'll escape. Okay, I'm George McKinnis. I've been affiliated with the district for more years than I can remember. I've held virtually every office in the district. And some of the things I will tell you about in my remarks that we're trying to change are based on that experience. But first, let's get your wonderful new president in office. This is for you, Judge Schifrin. Would you repeat after me, sir?
I will.
I, Judge Gerard Schifrin, do solemnly swear.
I, Judge Gerard Schifrin, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of President
that I will faithfully execute the office of President
of the Rotary Club of New York,
of the Rotary Club of New York,
and that I will, to the best of my ability,
and that I will, to the best of my ability,
support the district governor and assistant governor assigned to this club,
support the district governor and the assistant governor assigned to this club,
and Rotary International,
and Rotary International,
and that I will uphold the Constitution and bylaws of this club,
and that I will uphold the Constitution and bylaws of this club,
the bylaws of Rotary International,
the bylaws of Rotary International,
and the district's manual of administrative procedure.
and the district's manual of administrative procedure.
Congratulations, sir. You're now the president of our district's far most distinguished club.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Judge McGinnis. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here this evening. I mean, I'm looking at so many wonderful faces of good friends that unfortunately I haven't been with recently because of COVID. I want to thank all of you for being here this evening. I don't even know where to begin to start with you. Larry, by the way, Larry Cohen, who I just he was just, I guess what, Larry, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, was voted in as chair of the foundation, the Rotary Club of New York Foundation.
Oh,
Congratulations to that, Larry.
Thank you.
Thank you
Great.
very much. And past President Jan Brown and Wilfred, as I said here. I see a good friend Hyrie from Turks and Caicos, Brother Hyrie. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here this evening. It's been a very difficult year for all of us. I will say we have been planning, Andreas and I and a few others have been planning to have a really great celebration for the club in July. We were going to do it outdoors. And by the end of June, we came to the conclusion that it probably would not work. And in fact, it's rained almost every single day. It's raining as I'm speaking. So in a sense, I'm glad we didn't do that because we would only have had to have canceled it. Assuming that we're not going to have a replay of COVID and shutdowns, hopefully in September, we're planning for a really nice get together, which the club will fund. It'll be indoors at a very, very nice venue. We will invite everyone here, all of us, all the club members to be our guests. And so that we can unite with each other and be part of the great Rotary tradition again. This year, we're hoping to do things that we wanted to do last year, but couldn't because of COVID. We started a number of programs which we would really like to see move forward. I'm very honored and proud to tell you that I've gotten great support from other Rotary clubs in our district. The Rotary Club of Chinatown, the Rotary Club of Harlem. They have members who have agreed they're going to be working with us, dealing with the whole issue of the relationship between New York City Police Department and our communities. And if you remember our distinguished guest, we did a Zoom with him back in January of this year, who was going to be the pick for this club to be one of the people addressing the issue of police reform in New York City, is now probably going to be our mayor. And, Borough President Eric Adams is a good friend of this club. I hope to speak with him in the not too distant future, and he will be our guest, and hopefully he will work with us in, I'm pretty certain he will work with us in bringing about the dialogue between the City of New York, the New York City Police Department, and the various communities in our neighborhood. We also have the project that we started with the Shriners Children's Hospital in Philadelphia, and that's Vice President Levent Oskert, who is on the board there, and we're moving full speed ahead on that. We have the approval of the Administration for Children's Services, and I will be speaking to that with that again with Eric Adams very soon to try to make sure we smooth this out, because we have set up a situation where foster children designated by the doctors of the Administration for Children's Services in New York City will recommend that these children receive emergency treatment for whatever their issues might be at the Shriners Hospital, Children's Hospital in Philadelphia. Our club will sponsor this. It will cost the children and their guardians nothing. They will be put up in housing in Philadelphia until the services are provided, and we will bring them back. Also working on a program, Levent might want to address it himself, where we will have remote broadcasting consultations between children and doctors in Philadelphia. So this is something this club is very proud of. Something that I want to get the other clubs involved in, to give attention to the issues directly involving the people of the city of New York and the environment. And because of that, I think we can reach out and get a bigger presence for Rotary and invite more people to become members of Rotary, not just the Rotary Club of New York, which is our main goal, of course, but other Rotary clubs as well in the different areas of the city and the district in which they live. We will have a whole new series of UN breakfasts beginning in September. Malika Abreu is going to head up that. She's a member of our board of directors, will be heading this up. And these meetings will be directly at the United Nations, hosted in the United Nations. And we'll have a whole series of guests each month, the third Wednesday of each month. And the difference this year will be, because we have now assisted with a number of different clubs around the world, we will include Zoom in our live meetings so that our sister clubs in Mexico City and London and in Germany and in Rome and Cairo and Taiwan will be able to log in and participate live with us as we have our UN breakfast with our guest ambassadors. So it should be a really exciting new year. We have a new people on our board. I'm very anxious to get them involved with us. And we have some people on the board who make all of us very proud that they are there. They have done some great work. Balor Turmurchador has really tied us up with the World Economic Council and group young professionals, and each month has presented a series of really great lectures. I've seen most of you at these meetings, at these lectures at the end of each month. It'll be great to continue this. And again, this will be something which will be worldwide because these people meet with us from around the world. So I'm very anxious to get started. I'm very anxious for us to get back to in-person live meetings and to have all of us enjoy our friendship and camaraderie together. And look forward to seeing all of you very soon. Thank you for being here this evening. And thank you for being with us. Andreas, I guess would be time to introduce our board members, our officers.
Yes, absolutely. Let me put this in gallery view so we can sort of pick by random window here. And why don't we start with President-elect Alexander. Alexander, would you like to unmute yourself and just say 30 seconds something about you that we don't know or that we should know?
Oh, dear Rotarians, dear friends, I am very proud to be a member of the Rotary Club of New York. I'm a very international person. I have lived in 4 different countries. I have an experience in managing international business operations and developing new business opportunities. The companies I founded cover a broad sphere of professional interests, ranging from real estate investment, yacht chartering, information technology. I graduated from Moscow State Technical University with master's degrees in mechanical engineering and business management. I have been married for 35 years to my wife, who helps me out in all my endeavors. We are raising beautiful daughter and son. He is currently pursuing a master's degree in cybersecurity at Columbia University. At this stage in my career, I am helping small businesses survive in pandemic situation. Few words about my hobbies. I love mountain ski, sailing, kiteboarding, and I'm miniature schnauzer breeder. Thank you for your trust, and I hope that my skills and knowledge will help to improve other lives. Thank you again.
Thank you, Alexander. And we do indeed share the love for dogs. So we always talk about our appreciation for working dogs. Anyway, thank you, Alexander. We move swiftly on to our second vice president. Levent is first vice president, but he's not on this Zoom call. So Julie, who is a nonprofit expert, actually. So Julie, unmute yourself, please.
So I'm Julie Galanti. I've actually been with Rotary since 2000. I started out at the Hoboken Rotary Club, and I was in the New Rochelle Rotary Club and then this club. So I love what Rotary does, how it brings people together to make the communities a better place. In my day job, I work with YMCAs and I help them with board governance and strategic planning and sort of anything else nonprofit. I love to swim and walk and travel. So I'm really happy to be part of this club and honored to be selected to be on the board.
Thank you, Julie. And you're actually in direct procession, of course, of becoming president in a very fast track. Next person up would normally be the last officer, which is Julie Jacobelli, treasurer. She informed us that she's just coming back from Italy. So we move ahead to the directors. And since the first director with the letter A is Malika, we go ahead with Malika. Go ahead. Hello. Mute yourself, Malika, sorry. Everybody who is talking should unmute themselves.
Okay. Hello, fellow Rotarians and friends. I have been a Rotarian for the past 15 years. And prior to joining the Rotary Club of New York, I worked for over 25 years in the UN system, including with the United Nations Children's Fund. Back in the early 70s, I met my future husband, Nori, who was at the time a diplomat serving in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. My years in Addis were very happy. I taught history to high school students at the French Lycée and gave birth to my precious daughter, Leila. The life of expatriates is different than the life of the locals, which elicited my interest in economic and social development issues. After 3 years of marital bliss in Addis, Nori was offered a position at the UN Secretariat, Center Against Apartheid in New York. After we arrived in New York, I stayed home for a few years, raising our children and doing volunteer work. I started my international civil servant career at the United Nations Secretariat, Department of Public Information, as a journalist. And I subsequently joined UNICEF in 1986 in the Program Funding Office, where the UNICEF Executive Director at the time, Mr. James Grant, I want to mention his name because he is a legend in the world of development. He chose to represent me, he chose me to represent UNICEF with Rotary International in the global effort to eradicate polio. It was a bold move on the part of Mr. Grant because the Rotary membership did not include women at the time. So in those meetings at Evanston, Illinois, where I represented UNICEF, I was the only woman, even among the other partners, like WHO was represented by a man. And the whole Rotary International Foundation, there were only men, with, of course, facilities that were for only men. So, well, one day I will tell you what happened there. UNICEF actually gladly accepted being a partner of Rotary in polio eradication because polio eradication was complementary to the regular UNICEF universal immunization program against 6 child killer diseases that UNICEF was conducting anyway. So it was seeing the increasing number of countries achieving polio eradication was for me exhilarating. I subsequently served in West Africa, where as head of office, I supervised a $5 million program of cooperation budget with the government that included a health program with a huge immunization component. On my watch, polio was declared eradicated in Côte d'Ivoire with confirmation 3 years later. As I joined the Rotary Club of New York right after mandatory retirement from UNICEF to make sure that I will still be in the picture when polio is eradicated the same way smallpox was in 1979. Well, with all the hurdles, polio is not eradicated yet, and COVID has made vaccination even more difficult than it was before. As board director of our club and under the guidance of President Gerard in the year ahead, I am prepared to work for the Wednesday morning international breakfast meetings with other colleagues and attempt at reviewing our club's bylaw, which date back to early 70s, I understand, And I also wish to point out that I am a member of the Polio Plus Committee at the district level under District Governor McKinnis.
Thank you, Malika.
I
Thank you
look
very much.
forward to a very fruitful year.
All right, thank you. Next one up is Kalman Angus Clark, who might or might not be still in Vienna. Kalman, are you on?
I'm here. I have returned back from Vienna. I hate speaking about myself. My background is varied from oil and gas tax shelters in the late 60s, real estate in the 70s, all kinds of madness in West Africa in the late 70s, 80s. Interest in homeless issues, interest in sheltering people, music, arts. I'm a member of a very prominent foundation that promotes young opera singers. I am especially interested in Rotary for the noble works that you're engaged in. I think a lot more can be done. I have made some global connections in the area. I was originally brought into the Rotary by Giorgio Balistrieri during his year and a year or two after. Gerard inspired me to come back. I helped put together a couple of years ago a benefit around Easter time for the homeless veterans shelter. I'm involved in Veterans Affairs. I'm a former member of the Veteran Corps of Artillery, 7th Regiment. I've been a member of a couple NGOs in the UN. I like to do things in the background. I'm 6'6". I hardly need any more attention, but I'm delighted and honored and consider it a great privilege to be affiliated at this level with Rotary number 6, and will dedicate my time and effort to assist you in all your noble deeds and endeavors. Thank you so very much for the privilege of being with all of you.
Thank you, Kalman. Thank you so much. Next one up is Fuson Hofer. Just unmute yourself, Fuson. Sorry.
Yes, I was trying. Okay. Fissenhofer, as you see my name tag, I should say. I'm in the profit business, actually not nonprofit, but for-profit business. I owned 3 companies in the apparel and fashion industry. Work predominantly on international platform, especially in Asia and Far East Asia, Asian countries. Actively run and operate my businesses, therefore my time is not too much dedicated as much as I wanted to the Rotary Club. And I'm hoping coming years we'll be able to be more active. I'm married and have a beautiful son of 27, and he's also part of Rotaractor Club. I'm happy to be part of, I see Rotary as family. I always address it as family. So I'm happy to be part of the club, and hopefully we'll be doing many good things to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Fuson. Next one up, Bolar.
Good evening, distinguished Rotarians. Very happy to be here. Greetings from Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. So I'll be brief. Also, I hate to talk about my background as Kalman because mine is also linked to mining in metals. So I joined Rotary movement in 2009 as a Rotaract and served until 2015 and rejoined the 2019. And people were extremely radiant by the time when I joined Rotary movement, and it just hooked me up. And those radiant people, those were serving about themselves. That was very, very inspiring to me. And being born, raised, and educated in post-communist countries, there are disadvantages and advantages that you cut off from some information worldwide. So Rotary was incredible access to see the world through Rotarians' eyes. And I was enchanted by everyone's dedication and aspiration towards improving the state of the world around themselves. And I'm very honored to be part of this Radium Humans. And besides my day jobs or job hunts or studies and side projects, I always try to serve within my capacity. And thanks to you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bola. Thank you. Looking forward to a great year. Dr. George Onuora.
Good evening, fellow Rotarians. It's really a pleasure to be part of this esteemed group. Thank you, George Schifrin and Andreas, as well as Mr. Litnov. Joining Rotary was really an extension of my passion. I've always liked to help in my community. I was once a Boy Scout in Nigeria. I've been in this country 40 years, August 21st coming. One of the things that motivated me to join is because of service above self. I've always wanted to extend myself to help in solving problems that afflict our community, helping those that are struggling to make it, those that are marginalized individuals. Because, when we help, we kind of, it helps to empower us within. I mean, I was raised as a Catholic, and I was once an altar boy. And the study of catechism and being in the Boy Scouts helped to build me to who I became today. As you all may know, I just recently ran for city council, and that was an extension of trying to do what I can do to lift our community up. I live in Corona, Queens, one of the most impacted, devastated, of course, by the COVID illness and health issue. So in a nutshell, I've always wanted to extend myself, and I can even allude to the quotation by John F. Kennedy when he said following his inaugural address in 1961, that ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. My country I may not be born in the United States, but I've lived here. I'm a citizen of the United States. So I want to do my level best to help you, to help us do whatever we can do to make this world a better place. Something you don't know about me, I'm actually an introvert, but until I see a problem that I want to help solve, then I will dive into it, immerse myself, and that's the same reason that I've joined all of us to see what we can do to address the issue of public safety in New York City. Because who wants to have family members walk around the street and get mugged, get beat down, get killed, and so on? So Josh Schifrin, I'm ready to serve. I'm ready to help us work with soon-to-be mayor, Eric Adams, to see what we can do to lift this city up. So I'm ready to join you guys, and it's a pleasure to join this esteemed group, and together we can rise. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Very well said. Also, we point out that George is one of those members that really rolls up his sleeves, and he did so during COVID with Elmhurst Hospital, which we funded with food supplies. So thank you, George. Great board member. We finished with our last two S's, and they're also the last members to join this board. We start with our German friend, Olaf Schmüser. Olaf.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm really delighted to be a member of this distinguished club. I joined Rotary 10 years ago, and my father-in-law, he brought me to Rotary, and he was also a member of this club in the late 70s and early 80s of the last century. I'm also enjoying an expat life and spent last almost 7 years in West Africa and Nigeria. I was a member of Rotary Club Lagos, Nigeria. And I brought something for you today. This is my family. I will show you a picture. Here we go. This is my wife and my son and my daughter. My wife lived in New York for almost 11 years when she was a teenager, a young adult, and she went to Columbia. So we are very familiar with New York and we are happy to be back. My son is 26. He's self-employed. He's running his own shop in Berlin, a fintech company. He is always saying, I would like to disturb my father's business because I'm also in banking. And my daughter, she lives in Hamburg and studies psychology, and she would like to become a psychologist as her mother. Rest assured, I'm really hands-on. Give me something to do, I will execute it. I'll be here to help you. Thank you so much, and thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you, Olaf. Okay. Agim Sheho, please. You're still muted, Agim. You need to unmute yourself, Agim. Agim, we cannot hear you. We can still not hear you. Unfortunately, we cannot hear you. You are muted, but somehow your speaker must be hooked up to your computer. So unfortunately, I cannot hear you. You want to try to speak one more time? No? Okay. Maybe we come back to you, Agim. In absence of Agim's connection, maybe we could ask for a brief comment of new chair of Foundation, Larry, for a minute or two for his vision of our foundation. And then we go to President Gerard for his remarks.
Well, thank you, Andreas. I think we should go directly to Gerard. This is really about bringing in the officers and the board. And Gerard, I look forward to working with the board, having the foundation and trustees support the activities of the club and to help us make our community focused in Manhattan, but serving our global community at the same time. And look forward for a partnership and for a productive year ahead.
Thank you, Larry. You were a great president, and so I'm sure you're going to be a great chair of our foundation. Thank you for your service again, which we say to you all the time because you're always there serving. Thank you again. I'm not going to talk very much about last year. There was a year-end report which was emailed to everyone. I hope you have all seen it. If not, let Andreas know. We'll make sure you get it. Hopefully, in September, we can start a very active live program to see everyone there. Helen Reisler, who has a wealth of knowledge, she's volunteered her services. We're going to call on you, Helen. We will need your services this year, and we all do. Hyrie, I'm going to ask you, you're down in Turks and Caicos. You've got to send some of that sun up to us, please. We've had enough rain for a long time. Thank you, sir. And Fred Lee, thank you for being with us today. And few faces that I'm not familiar with, but I hope to become familiar with. Anne-Marie, thank you very much for being with us tonight. Anne-Marie is a friend from the Union League Club. This should be a good year for us. I think that from the people that you have seen here tonight, everyone brings something to the table unique to himself or herself. And we are going to make sure that we use everyone's talents to make our club shine the way it has always shown and the way it needs to be, to make sure that we have a very real presence in New York City. How many times I in New York have heard people say to me, oh yeah, Rotary, yeah, I've heard of Rotary. What is it you guys do? Well, I want people in New York City to know what Rotary does. And I really hope that we will all be able to make our presence felt in this city so that when we turn on the news at night, occasionally we're going to see news about the Rotary Club of New York doing things here and, as Larry said, outside New York City as well. Been very honored, very proud for you all to be here tonight. Judge McKinnis, do you have any closing comments? You'll have to unmute yourself.
Shall we do the swear in for your board, your new board?
Please, yes.
Okay. Will all the new board members here repeat after me? I do solemnly swear
I did solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office
that I will faithfully execute the office
of a member of the Board of Directors
of a member of the Board of
Directors
of the Rotary Club of New York,
of the Rotary Club of New York,
New York,
and that I will, to the best of my ability,
and that I
to the
will,
best of my
to the
ability,
best of my ability,
support the district governor and the assistant governor for this club,
support
the district governor and the assistant governor for this club,
and assistant governor for this club
and Rotary International,
and Rotary International,
International,
and that I will uphold the Constitution and bylaws of this club,
that I will uphold the Constitution and laws of this club,
the bylaws of Rotary International,
the bylaws of Rotary International,
and the district's manual of administrative procedure.
and the district's manual of administration procedures.
I welcome you as new members of the Board of Directors of this distinguished club. So
Thank you,
a
Judge
few
McKinnis.
comments about what we're going to try to do this year and what we're faced with.
Mhm.
Our objectives are as follows. Our immediate objectives are as follows. We did better last year in bringing in new members than we have done in my memory. However, at the end of last Rotary year, we had massive resignations, including half of each of 2 new Rotary clubs formed last year. We have, for years, hovered just above 1,100 members. And for the last 3 Rotary years, Rotary International has in writing told our district that we will be merged into another district if it ever falls below 1,100, just one person below 1,100. And we've been told they have the merger documents ready to go. This means, now let me tell you what this means, because I'm not sure that all the members of all our clubs are terribly aware of what they have. In having the district organization here close to and a part of the greater New York area, the people who hold office in the district are people who have similar culture, the culture of the greater New York area. It's dominated by the city. Most of us had a good chunk of our career in New York City. I certainly did. So letting somebody from 2 states away, where it's principally farm country, command us is not a happy thought for me. I'll put it that way. So we need to work extremely hard throughout the whole district to bring in more members, and we have to get far better at nurturing new members. Many of our larger clubs had a great deal of loss, including this one. So this is what I call an existential goal. If we can't pull it off this year, your district, your local district is toast. It will go out of business. Number 2, the way the district is traditionally managed, and you've had quite a number of district governors that came out of the New York Club, including past district governor Helen, who's right here on this call. Traditionally, the district governor micromanages every feature. There's no one between the district governor and all the committees and functions to help out. So what we created was a completely new organization where we have a new title I'm forgetting the title for a minute. Yeah. Okay. It's a, I'll think of it in a minute. But excuse me, it's deputy governor. We've never had it before. So we now have the deputy governor with multiple district functions reporting, including assistant governors to the deputy governors. We right now have 3 deputy governors in the district. And none of the essential functions of the district report directly to me. The deputy governors report to me. All right. The reason for this is that for all the years I've been associated with the district, there's rarely been competition to be elected district governor. Mary, no competition. Me, no competition. The next district governor, the district governor-elect, no competition. We push and push and push to try to get capable, thoughtful people to run, and they won't do it because they feel it's too time-consuming. So I have basically reorganized along more of a corporate line so that the district governor can manage the board as the chairman of the board and manage the goals and the outlook of the district. But you don't have to manage every little detail. You've got people who do that for you. And I'm hoping if this works, that more people who are at their peak of their careers are able to become a district governor. I've had district governors I worked under who retired just to be a district governor because they couldn't continue their business or law practice while being district governor. Okay. We've had in our district very severe firefights among very determined people who are angry at each other. And I get asked at the RI level and at the zone level, why do you people behave that way? And I've told them, it's New York. We're very competitive. And we tend to be very strong viewed, all of us do, who've worked in New York and the New York area. And that leads to disputes. So we have a new function. It's ethics and dispute resolution. And the head of that committee is your past district governor, Helen Reisler. And we have, let me see, there's somebody else. Yeah, we have Larry Cohn on that committee too. They're gonna draft, and they're busy right now putting themselves together to do it. They're gonna draft an ethics statement, which we'll submit to the board when and if the board accepts it. And if it seems to be satisfactory, we're going to present it for enactment in the Manual of Administrative Procedure. And we've set up among that committee a function that will try to resolve disputes on a peaceful and quiet and non-combative, non-emotional level. One of which will be to offer district mediation on a very quiet, confidential basis. And to do that, we made this committee report directly to the board and not to the district governor, because we don't want a strong-willed district governor to try to manipulate it. And we consider that a very important thing. So those are the items, the 3 items that we consider paramount right now. There'll be plenty more, but that's what we wish to accomplish. So I thank you for inviting me here. You have a very impressive club. You always have. You always have. And I'm very aware that you had Paul Harris as an honorary member. That's pretty unusual in our district. You're the only one I know of for the whole East Coast that had Paul Harris as, when he was alive, as an honorary member. And he actually named your club the Host of America because you did so many conferences, international conferences through Rotary International. So I thank all of you for participating in the management of this club. It's a noble undertaking, and I think it's worthy of every one of us. So for that, good night.
Thank you, Judge. And I noticed, I didn't see earlier, Larry Parks was with us tonight. Thank you, Larry and Jan. Our goal this year is to make sure that at least everyone in New York knows about Rotary, especially the Rotary Club of New York. But our goal is that people, when they hear the word Rotary, they will be able to associate us with one of the things that we're involved in, one of the changes, one of the good projects we're doing. That's the goal of our club this year. And I'm very proud to serve with all of you. You're really a unique group of people. Thank you so much. And stay healthy and stay well. Please, we're counting on you. Andreas?
Yes, that pretty much concludes the meeting. Also from my side, I offer you my full support, of course, to all members. So reach out to me for anything and all matters that are in your mind, any ideas. And of course, I will keep supporting the president and the board to the best of my abilities. And I thank you all for joining us today. And hopefully you enjoy a little bit more of your August. There will be some not Rotary specific events maybe, but some that we will offer you as an alternative. And we surely will come back with some strong meetings in September, as President Gerard said. And we're obviously working on finding a new venue, and President Gerard mentioned that as well. So with that, we conclude. Thank you.
If I may, Andreas, before we sign off,
Yeah.
again, for whatever reason, you were not able to activate your speaker. If you wish, I'm not going to force you to do anything, but if you wish, if you want to send some background comments about yourself, some information to Andreas, well, we can send it out in an email later on.
Actually, Agim did say that he thought he had it back in order. So if he wants to take one more minute or two, Agim, is your connection good now? Agim? It does not look like it.
No.
No, it
All
doesn't
right.
look like.
Well.
Okay, so just before we conclude, again, a huge honor for us to have always past Rotary International President Wilfred Wilkinson at our meetings. It's something that not many clubs have the privilege of having. So we will always welcome him, and we wish him, like all of you, a sound sleep. And if you're not in a sleeping time zone right now, then a good morning, for instance, for Bowler, I'm sure. And that's it. Anyway, see you soon. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe. Thank you.